Hi, welcome to another episode of 6 Cents Out of a Nickel. What I want to talk to you today is about building rapport with people that you don't already know. A good way of doing that is to use a technique called matching and mirroring. Now, if you don't know what that is, you're probably not the only one. You've probably done it without even knowing it. First, let's explore what brings people together. It's having things in common, things that they share, points of view, very, very simple things most of the time that they have in common. Have you ever been out traveling somewhere new and you find someone with the same accent as you and you feel compelled to say hello just because they're the same as you in a foreign place? People like people who are the same and they don't like people who are different. That's why we have things like racism. That's why we have things like nationalities, why we still continue to have wars, because people like people who are the same as them and people don't like people who are different. So what you want to do when you're building rapport is you want to build some similarities. Now, if you don't already have similarities with that person and you're just kind of like sitting there, like say you're on a date and there's a lull in the conversation, what do you do then? How do you actually build that connection? Very simple. You do a thing called matching and mirroring. Now, a lot of the things that you're going to do are going to be below the threshold of conscious thought. So the idea of matching and mirroring is doing those little things that make the other person understand that you are the same, but not to the point where you're copying them or mimicking them or making them feel uncomfortable. That would just be going too far. So one thing that you do, if you're at a party, for instance, and you're around a bunch of people you don't know, you don't really have that much in common with, a very simple thing to do. When they take a drink, grab your drink and just like don't hold it close to your chest or anything, but just casually hold your drink, even if you don't take a drink yourself. Even better if you take a drink at the same time. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you're really not thirsty at that moment, just grab your drink and hold on to it, and then a couple minutes later you can put it right back down. But that gives you something in common. It's subliminal. It's below the threshold of consciousness. They won't even notice that you're doing it, but it'll trigger in their minds that, hey, this person's just like me. I like this person, and I can't quite figure out why. It won't even register in conscious thought. Another thing you can do is you can match their breathing. I know this sounds a little creepy, but stay with me for a minute. You don't necessarily like go breath for breath the same as them, but if they're breathing, shallow and you quicken your breathing a little bit to kind of match it a bit. The closer you can get to their physicality, the closer you're going to be able to get to their mentality. And that's really going to help you to develop conversation, to understand what they're thinking, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to put yourself in their shoes. You're trying to kind of do a little bit of the things that they're doing, kind of get in their head. What are you thinking? And then match yourself to that. And then that's how you can build the basis of a conversation. Now, I can't emphasize enough, don't be creepy. Don't do everything they do to the point where they pick up their drink, you pick up your drink. They take a bite of food, you take a bite of food. Sooner or later, they're going to catch on, and they're going to grab their fork of food, and they're going to go, just to watch and see if you do the same thing, right? Don't get to that point. Don't let it get to the level where they're consciously aware of what you're doing. Always keep it in the background. It's best to practice this technique on somebody that you already know, that you already have a rapport with, and just watch. Do some of these little things and see what point they notice, because they know you best, and they're actually going to be able to pick it out if you're starting to get a little bit creepy. It's a great way of actually practicing this technique and actually getting it down before you use it on strangers. Now, matching and mirroring doesn't necessarily have to be actions. Sometimes it's just the way people walk, the way people talk, if somebody walks in the room and they're really quiet, and they're just quiet people, right? You want to build a rapport with this quiet person. You want to lower your tone of voice so that it's quieter, so it matches them somewhat, so that they don't get frightened away by your loud voice. Just keep it down. If you're dealing with somebody who walks in the room and they're loud and they're boisterous and they're walking in loud and proud, bring the tone of your voice up a little bit, bring the volume up a little bit, be a little bit more animated, and that's going to actually subliminally tell that person, hey, this is someone who's just like me. I like them. I don't quite know why, but I like them. Language and diction are another way that you can actually match and mirror. If you have someone who's using high level, more sophisticated words when they talk to you, then you're going to want to up your game. You're going to want to use higher level diction. You're going to want to use proper sentences. You're going to want to really watch your you're going to want to really present differently than if someone walks in the room casual, just, you know, hey, what's up, what's going on. You want to kind of match that, lower your shoulders, kind of like relax yourself, just bring yourself to the occasion, watch the person that you're trying to mirror, and do some of the things that they're doing. And you, of course, you want to do it so that you don't pretend that you're somebody you're not. You're not trying to produce a false image. You're just trying to subliminally create something in common so that you have a bit of rapport right off the hop. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, look out for my next video about inflation and the one after that about insurance. Both are very boring topics. I'm going to try and make them as entertaining as I possibly can. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for more content. Thank you very much. Until next time.